Hey guys, I am Ishan from ACM Student Chapter ITISM Dhanbad, and today I am going to discuss the problem Magical Calendar from Code Forces round 654 Division 2. So let's start with the problem. The question says that Alice is rescheduling some practices for an eating contest on a magical calendar. Why is it magical? Because it doesn't have fixed number of days. The number of days in that week, it depends upon r. We can choose any value starting from 1 to r as the number of days in a week for us. Now, Alice is going to paint some n consecutive days on this calendar. Especially on this calendar, dates are written from left to right cell. If a date reaches the last day of the week, then we will begin from the next day's cell, and that to the leftmost one. Okay, now what is our aim? Our aim is to paint all the cells, all n cells in a consecutive way, and we have to keep one thing in mind, that is they are connected by side. This is a very important thing and I will explain to you later when we code it. Okay, now Alice is considering the shape of the painted cell. Our aim is to count the number of shapes of the painted cells that we can get. Two shapes are same if there exists a way to make them exactly overlap using only parallel moves. Using only parallel moves, if I'm able to overlap two figures, then both of them are same shape. For example, if I take this figure 3, if I move it leftwards by 2 units and 1 unit upwards, then we will find that it will overlap figure 1. Therefore 1 and 3 are the same shape. Whereas if I try to overlap 2 with 1, then it won't happen, because it is containing 2 blocks over here and it contains only 3 blocks over here, and 1 block will remain unoverlapped. Therefore these two are different shapes, whereas 3 and 1 are same shape. Alice wants to know how many possible shapes can we get by painting n consecutive days in a calendar. Okay, let's go on to the input format. Input is in the form of test t number of test cases. Each test case contains a number n. Then it also contains r is the range of k, whereas k is the number of days. So the number of days will lie in the range from 1 to r, and that is upon us. We can choose any of them, and our aim is to find the number of shapes we can get by choosing different r in this range. N is fixed. Okay, before moving on to the question, let me focus on my input format first. The values of n is really very large, and looking into it I can clearly say that even solution of on won't work over here. Therefore, before moving on to the solution, I may have to make sure that my solution that I'm going to comprehend, its time complexity should be less than on. That is, it can be o log n or it can be o1, but it can't be on. In that case, otherwise it will show me TLE. Now let's move on to the problem solution. Okay, firstly the input. The input is in the form of n and r, where n is the number of consecutive days which we have to paint, and r is the maximum number of days in a week. Now for some time let's forget about r and let's only think about k. Let us take k as the actual number of days I am taking. I have chosen some particular k as the number of days in my week, and let's work on it. For example, if I take n equal to 2, that is I have to paint 2 blocks, and let k equal to 3, that is I have 3 days in a week. Hash denotes unpainted cells, whereas alpha denotes, or at the rate, it denotes the number of painted cells. Okay. So there are 3 possibilities in which I can paint these figures. The first possibility is this is second, and this is third possibility. Now looking into the first possibility, I can say that it is a valid figure, it's a valid shape, so let's take yes for it. This is we can take it. Then moving on to this one, I've written no for it. Why am I saying that? Because this figure will overlap with this figure. If I take it leftwards and keep it on this, then they both will overlap, so we will not take this shape. Considering this shape, again I've written no for it. Why? Because there is no side common in these two painted blocks. As I earlier said that this is a very important line. We want to paint all the cells only with those which are connected by sides. Okay, therefore this shape will be discarded, and so the number of shapes which I get are 1. Moving on to the another example, if I increase n by 1, now I have to paint 3 blocks for same k. I will get these 3 things. First case, I will again take it for a yes, because yeah, this is a valid shape, I can get it as all 3 are common with each other. Now moving on to the second one, this is no. Why? Because again I can see that this block and this block don't have anything common, and this is isolated, therefore we won't consider it. Similar with this one as well, this is, and this is also disconnected, so here again we get 1 as an answer. Now let's increase n one more and we get n equal to 4. Now we'll find that this shape, we take first 3 and then the next one, this is valid shape. Moving on to this shape, this is valid in this case. Why? Because all the shapes are connected by some side. Even this one is connected to this one is connected to this one, and these two are also connected. So yeah, it will be a valid shape, so we'll consider it. Moving on to another shape, this one, this is also a valid shape because all the 4 painted blocks are adjacent to each other. Therefore in this case we get number of shapes to be 3. Now there is a slight thing that we can observe over here. What is that? We will observe these 3 figures and then we will try to find out why we are getting number of shape as 1 for first 2 and 3 for the third one. We can clearly see that k is fixed over here, that is k is 3 as the number of days in a week, they are fixed. Now why am I getting 1 for this one? I am getting 1 because this shapes of this kind where I am going to the next line as well, this is being discarded, whereas in the third example this is not being discarded. And why is it happening? Why am I bound to only the first line in this example? This is happening because my n is less than k. K is 3 and I have to paint only 2 blocks. So if I try to paint 2 blocks, then I can never go to the next line, because if I try to go to the next line, then there will be a breakage in between and there will be no connection. Similarly for 3 as well, if I take n equal to 3 and if I try to paint 3 blocks, then also there will be some disconnection. Whereas if my n becomes greater than 3, if my n becomes greater than the number of rows over here, then definitely there will be some common point, there will be a connection in my shapes, in my figure. Therefore from this I can observe that if n is less than equal to k, if n is less than equal to k, then I am bound to only the first row, or I am bound only in the one row, and therefore I will get only one shape, that is a horizontal figure. This is what I will always get. This is what I will always get. Whereas if I get some n which is larger than k, then I can always move on to the next line also and get more shapes, more distinct shapes, and valid as well. Now why it is 3? This is 3, and how will know that what is the number of shapes which we can get if my n is greater than k? So the answer to that question is simply I can get k shapes only. Why? Because if I look into this thing, then how am I getting the permutations? How am I getting my shapes? I'm getting my shapes by starting from this index. Earlier I'm starting from this index and then I'm moving forward. Second case I'm starting from the second index, then I'm going forward, and in the third case I'm starting from the third index and going forward. So in this row, how many positions are there in which I can start? There are 3 positions, and 3 is what? 3 is also the number of days in the week. The row denotes the number of days in the week. Therefore I can make 3 shapes. I will repeat myself. While making these patterns, I am starting index by index. I'm starting from this position and then I'm going on with my shapes. Second example, I'm starting from this position, second position. In the third example, I'm starting from the third position. So in these cases, what am I doing? I'm starting from every index. I'm starting from every day of the week. This is first day of the week. I'm starting from the second day of the week. I'm starting from third day of the week. So I'm getting shapes equal to the number of days in the week in this case. So I hope I'm clear. So now let's put together our observations and try to derive some formula. What I have derived is, suppose this is a simple example. If n is less than k, n is less than equal to k, then my answer will always be 1. Whereas if my n becomes greater, then answer will be k. And k is what? The number of days in the week, which we have shown through these examples. Now let's take some example. If k is 4, suppose k is 4, and let's take the value of n to be 1, 2, 3 and 4. If n is 1 and 1 is less than k, n is less than k, then I will get 1. 2, it is less than k, then again I will get 1, and I will keep on getting 1 until my n becomes greater than k over here. And in this case, what will be my answer? My answer will be 4 equal to k. That is, over here I will get the shapes equal to the number of days of the week. So let's conclude some point over here. But before concluding, let me give you a small formula. If I have n natural numbers starting from num1, then their sum is equal to this, n plus 1 upon 2. Now let's move forward. Now let's try to conclude what we have already know. Suppose this should be our, earlier when I started solution, I told you that we are given n and r. K is an imaginary thing that I have used in my solution. So initially we'll be given n and r. And what is k in that? K is the actual number of days which I am choosing. So now let's start with the question. I am given n and r again. Now suppose n is greater than r. This is one example. N is 5 and r is 4. R is 4. What is R? R is the maximum number of days in the week I can choose. So I can choose at max 4 days. I can choose 1 also, I can choose 2 also, I can choose 3 also, and I can choose 4 also. For all the 4 cases, I am going to calculate my answer, and then I will add them because I want to know the total number of shapes. Suppose I take R as 1. Suppose I take for only 1 as the number of day in the week. In that case, my answer will be 1. Why? Because as I earlier said, this R using this formula. K. Oh, my bad. It shouldn't be R, it should be K. Let's change it. This is R. R is 4, maximum number of days. And K is the number of days I am taking. So if I take K equal to 1 and N is greater than 1, N is greater than K. So I will get answer as K and K is 1. If K is 2, N is 5, then I will get answer as 2 from this formula. For all the answers greater than K, I should remember that, wait a minute. Yeah, for all N greater than K, my answer should be K. Let's move on to it. So if R, which is the maximum number of days, if it is greater than, it is less than N, then I can take K as 1, I can take K as 2, I can take K as 3, I can take K as 4, and these are my answers. All answers will be equal to K. Why? Because all the K will always be less than N. Why? Because K belongs to R and R is less than N. So K will always be less than N, and my answer will always be K in this case. So my answer will be 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4, or simply it is RR plus 1 divided by 2 from this formula, because I have to take R natural numbers. R is 4. Now the second case, if N is less than R, for example N is 4 and R is 6, I can take at max 6 days in the week. First example, if I take K as 1, K as 2, K as 3, K as 4, K as 5 and K as 6. These are the actual number of days I am choosing. If I choose K as 1, and in this case I will find that N is greater than K, so I will get K as my answer. Second example, K is 2, N is greater than K, again I will get K as my answer too. K Case 3, n is again greater than k. I will get 3 as my answer. For these cases, n is less than or equal to k, so I will get 1. Summing these answers, I will get 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 1. Now, a very important thing over here is that I am neglecting the remaining ones. I am neglecting these ones. Why am I doing it? Because I'm doing it because all 3 of them will simply donate a consecutive hash, which will be same as this one. As I earlier said, n is 4 consecutive blocks. So this means that I have to paint 4 consecutive blocks. Let's try and do it. Now, when k is equal to 4, in that case, I will get 1 extra block, and when k equal to 6, I will have 2 extra blocks. If I closely look into these 3 examples, I will find that the 3 shapes which I am getting by painting 4 consecutive blocks, they are same in the 3 figures. The shapes are same and overlapping. Therefore, I will ignore these 2 and I will take only this one into the account. So the formula is 1, 2, 3, 1 plus 2 plus 3, and this extra 1. Now, I can clearly see that I will get answers greater than 1 only when my n is greater than k. N is 4, so n will be greater than 1, 2 and 3 only. Or simply I can say that n will be greater than at max n minus 1, and if n is 4, n minus 1 is 3. So I have to take sum of first n minus 1 numbers, because only till n minus 1 my answer will be something greater than 1. And sum of first n minus 1 numbers is this. I have derived this using this formula. You can cross check it yourself. Plus 1. This is the case when n is less than r. Okay, let's summarize my formula. The formula simply says that if n is greater than r, the answer is rr plus 1 divided by 2, and else answer is nn minus 1 divided by 2 plus 1. Let's move on to the code. Code is very simple. Initially, I am getting input of n, r, and n and r. Initial LL is the long identifier which I have used. Then I have taken answer ANS. If n is greater than r, answer is this. If else, answer is this. And simply print your answer. Guys, if you want to check my code, you can simply click on the link provided in this description. You will get my solution there. That's all for this question. Thanks for watching, and share and subscribe to my channel. Okay, and bye.